very good evening to everyone far and near, both stateside, in Europe, in England, in China, Nigeria, all over the whole world. Welcome to this wonderful day. Friday, February the 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. Hope you guys are preparing for Valentine's Day. I forgot about the day, actually. I got in trouble. we have some friends here today. We have Ty, who's from AfrobeatliveFanZone. I also work with him on a couple of things. Ty's a Chelsea fan. How are you, man?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing? I'm still high off of yesterday's world champion win, so I'm good. I should have put my jersey on, you know. I feel like champions, you know.
Well, because you're my friend, I will say congratulations to Chelsea because you're my friend.
Thank you.
You deserve it. Daps, we also have Daps here. Daps is joining us for is it the first time or second time, Daps?
Second time, I think.
Second time. So Daps is a hardcore Man City fan. He's a local, goes to all the games as much as he can.
Well, kind of local. I guess local to you guys, but not that local.
What's the name of your channel, Daps? What's the name of your channel?
So the City one is Feed the Goat podcast, and then we've also got Never a Foul as well, which is our generic football one where we talk all football.
So, yeah, Daps, another great guy that we talk a lot with on Twitter, on his channel as well. Really great insight. Also, Patrick and I run things together as well. Patrick is based in Ireland. He's also a City fan. We run all these podcasts on multiple channels, one of which is my channel, his channel, Afrobeat Live channel. So we're running everything simultaneously as well. And Daps, in the future, if you want to do that as well, we can certainly bring you in.
Yeah. We can definitely talk about that. Do you know what? Just quickly, something to talk to you about, right? About that happened at the game on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
When you say about me being a local, so I was raised in Manchester till the age of 16, then moved down here. That's why I support City. Used to have a season ticket at Main Road. Anyway, when we got to the game, we were sat in some seats that I'd got that were in front of some guys that I was also in front of at the Chelsea game. But I looked very different. I had a woolly hat over my eyes this time, whereas I had no hat on last time. And when we walked up, they were like, this reminds, like, not to me, amongst themselves, there's 5 of them. This reminds me of the Chelsea game. Remember, there was that Southern guy that was shouting, calling Chelsea boys this and that. He might as well have been a QPR fan. And it proper, like, I knew it was about me. My mate was like, nah, they weren't talking about you. I was like, dude, they were. We were at the Chelsea game, sat in front of them. And it proper made my blood boil because I'm thinking, anyway, through the first half, they're singing about... They're singing about "We Are City" from Main Road and whatever else, and I'm listening to it all. Anyway, when we scored, we all got jumped up, and I turned around and I just looked at them and said, "Does this remind you of the Chelsea game as well?" And they go, "What?" And I go, "You were talking about me earlier, weren't you?" And they go, "No, we weren't talking about you." So I took my hat off and said, "You were talking about me, weren't you?" And they were like, "No." And I said, "Listen, there's no harm in a fan where they live in the world, right? I've supported City. I guarantee you I've been to Main Road more than all of you put together. Like, it doesn't matter where fans are, but it's the first time I've really experienced it at City games. It surprised me a bit."
Yeah, you get all there's some background noise.
For some of us, we get it online. Oh, how are you doing? Who's that again? That guy. How are you doing, that guy, man?
There's somebody playing music in the background. I'm not sure who it is.
It's not me.
Oh,
it's not Patrick. I think it's
sorry. I completely forgot I was live.
But yeah, it was an interesting one. It kind of pissed me off quite a lot, to be frank with you.
The dugout says,
don't mind it, man. It happens online, so just blank it out. Go ahead, Carl.
Absolutely.
We got some friends coming on. The dugout says, "Evening, Patrick." Daniel says, "Yes, hope you guys are all right."
I'll take Daniel.
City have to have a bite to the quarterfinals already. I wouldn't say so. F by Red Devil.
Nah, I know Red Devil. He's doing that purposely.
Well, the name says it alone.
King says he's doing that purposely. He's trying to hype us up that we're already in the quarters. He's 95.
Well, he has bigger problems to worry about, man.
Do you know the best thing I heard a United fan say the other day on Twitter was we were talking about something, I think about the Champions League, and he was saying he wants to how important the league is. And then he said, but to be honest with you, I really wanted to win the Champions League this season. And I was like, convenient, as it's the only fucking trophy you can win. All of
Yeah, but today we're going to talk about, again, I mentioned earlier, we'll talk about the Champions League. It's back. We'll talk about the games on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and then there's some games on Thursday with Europa League. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Yep.
But just going to wrap up the weekend real quick. That game from City, that was just special. The football. I watched it again, and the speed of play with the team. And there you go. The world champion.
What's funny? Somebody told me to put something on.
The world champion wears his shirt. I'll let him
spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, Ty's a good guy. Ty's a good guy, guys. So don't give him any flack. It's actually a really good, decent.
It's all right. I can take the flack.
One of you guys. But I think. Go ahead, Debs.
On the weekend, I think firstly it was encouraging to see no Cancelo, obviously Walker. Did Walker play? Did Walker play?
Yeah, he was. He was right.
Sorry. So ultimately, what I'm saying is Zinchenko coming in, and Fernandinho coming in, and also someone else came in and Aki coming in.
Yeah.
And are still looking smooth and fluid. Because sometimes when we've made those type of changes, it's changed the way we play. Whereas I don't feel it did. We look good. Like Zinchenko, maybe first 15 minutes, they looked a little bit. But then after that, I mean, Fernandinho getting there first on when they, when they hit the post on the rebound?
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing that is really, really important is Sterling getting a hat trick. Because if we are going to win the league, if we are going to progress in the Champions League, if we are going to progress in the FA Cup, if we're going to try and challenge on all them, for me, without a number 9, we need Sterling on form. It's that simple. That's what I've come to watching, especially against Brentford, and also, to be fair, maybe against Chelsea, where some of our other forward players haven't been so clinical. Having Sterling clinical is essential. Like, I really believe that.
It is.
No, I completely agree. I think that it's. I mean, Ty, I don't know if you watched the game on Saturday of the City game against Norwich. I was talking about the speed of play, the way they move the ball quickly and move Brentford around. Did you watch it? It's a lot of background noise.
I missed it. The kids had a game, so I was completely out of pocket Saturday. I didn't even watch our game, to be honest. I went back later on and watched the highlights.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about the Champions League. Patrick, I know there's a lot of noise you have in the background. Real quick, so this week we have two big game, or one big game really. It's the Real Madrid PSG, and I want to spend some time on it. And Ty, you're also a PSG Real Madrid fan.
Yes.
Benzema's out. Neymar is maybe out, probably out, but they still have Neymar, Mbappe, PSG going to Real Madrid. How do we see this game going, guys? Real quick.
Let me take a crack at it. For the fact that Benzema is out is a big loss for Real Madrid.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
it's a big loss. I think it's a bigger loss than Neymar potentially being out.
Definitely
it's a big loss because Vinicius Junior is no Benzema. And is not a guy that can stay and play 9 the way Benzema can. From the wing, yeah. So the question is, who do you play? If I was Carlo Ancelotti, who would I play in that position? Hazard is, Hazard is not old as that, to play.
Nice. Jovic? What about Jovic?
Jovic, I don't know.
Jovic. No, it's Jovic.
Jovic. So I don't know. I mean, I'm as a Real Madrid fan, obviously I'm rooting for Real Madrid, and I think if I have to pick a winner, I think PSG would take would take this one, and Real Madrid is gonna have to come back in the second leg. So that's my quick, quick.
Ty, can I just ask something, Ty? Are you a Chelsea fan and a Madrid fan?
Thank you.
So, okay, let me explain this to everybody. In every country, I have a team, right? So in England, my team is Chelsea. In Spain, it's Real Madrid. In Germany, is Bayern Munich. In America, I'm a diehard DC United. And my kids are in DC United. But I've been a DC United fan forever. So if you hear me say I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm a Real Madrid fan, I'm a Bayern Munich fan, I don't have a team in France. But in those 4 countries, I have a team that I support.
So, if Chelsea play Real Madrid,
Chelsea.
Thank you.
Chelsea. Okay. Okay. I mean, I know a Tottenham fan that conveniently
the only
supports
team I would
PSG,
root for over Chelsea, I know it sounds bad, would be DC United.
DC United. Yeah, I sense that. I sense that.
That's my home team. I live in the DMV.
Yeah,
DC
of course.
United is my home team. I've been there from day one, and so that's the only team that will pick over Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always said that, you know, in the Premier League, there are three competitions, right? You know, there's the top 3 who are struggling for the title. There's the top 4 of United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Wolves. Now, I told you about Wolves, Patrick. I warned you about Wolves.
Yeah.
I said, if Wolves get to that 4th spot, they're going to be tough bastards to remove.
You know what? Jimenez is getting back to form, man.
Hard to. Those guys are
Yeah,
difficult. And then there's a relegation group, which is like the Newcastle.
I think, you know what? I think the relegation group's done now as well, to be fair with you.
I think Burnley.
I took a screenshot of it, and for me, I can't. Oh yeah, I think Newcastle and Everton are going to pull away. I think Burnley, Watford, and can't remember who the third is.
Norwich.
For me, for everyone else is going to pull away from them. Newcastle, Everton will pull away from them, and they're fucked. But the other question you just said about Neymar probably being less of a miss than Benzema, absolutely. I actually think maybe Neymar not play right. So Messi's fit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mbappe's fit. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, right, that front 3 don't work. They would be better off losing one of them, whichever it is, and maybe playing someone like Wijnaldum or something in the middle and trying to strengthen their midfield that little bit more. For me, especially as they start playing these elite teams, they're not playing fucking Farmers League teams anymore. They're going to be playing elite teams. I think to have that extra midfielder and drop one of their almost luxury players might actually help them. To be honest with you,
you don't think playing Di Maria and part of the front
hard for me, Di Maria stank when he was in the Premier League, and it's very easy for a luxury player like Di Maria to go to the French league and start balling again. But sometimes, if a player doesn't ball in the Premier League, that's because it's a lot more difficult to ball. So, and right now, when you get to these stages and you're playing against elite teams, I think that's where too many elite players. I mean, that's why, for me, Man United don't stand a chance in hell against Madrid, because they've got a squad full of luxury players. None of them get back. None of them put the foot in. And I think they'll go out against Madrid.
But I'm tend to think that Di Maria tends to come big and play big in the big games. And this is a big game. I think Di Maria, the way he plays in a big game and the way he plays in the league sometimes is totally different. I've seen him in bad forms and then come to big games and come out with a crucial assist or goal-winning goals. He does that for Argentina sometimes, where, you know, if the big games, he shows up. So that's why I think Di Maria might be a good option for them if Neymar is not in that front 3.
Yeah, so the game they played on Friday.
That's a good shout, man. Good shout.
Yeah. The game they played on Friday, Mbappe and Messi started, left Mbappe. False 9 was Messi. Kimpembe, Marquinhos, we know they're going to play. I think Hakim is going to definitely play. I think Mendes may come in, or he's trying out Wambana because Wambana has more experience.
Wait, have they been playing this kid, Xavi Simons?
Yeah, they've been playing Xavi Simons. Yeah, they've been playing.
But they won't play.
That's amazing, man. That's an opportunity.
Yeah, they won't play him on Tuesday. Trust me.
No, they don't play him on Tuesday. They can't play him on Tuesday. They're probably going to go with probably Di Maria. Probably Di Maria.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Di Maria is there. He came. Well, that means he came in as a sub. Yeah, I think what Ty is saying is true though. Di Maria is more of a better player in big games and more of a hard worker than Neymar. So for me, I just see Neymar as somebody who picks and choose when he's great. The only time I saw him good in the Champions League was against Bayern. That's when he was balling and he was causing trouble. Don't get me wrong, Neymar on his day can be one of the best players, but it's just the fact of not tracking back. So let's say Di Maria, who is able to track back, but with his age now, is he going to keep that on? Because it's not the same Di Maria that was there back in the days, and there's a reason why he's holding the bench against. Maybe he was being left for Siemens just for the Champions League, for him to play in the Champions League. But I am very interested in this Siemens kid. Look, he might not be as old already, but he's a very good kid. But I don't see him as somebody who can do anything in the Champions League. What about Icardi? How is Icardi doing? Does anybody know what Icardi is doing?
Is inconsistent. That's a problem with Icardi, right? I think it's going to be Di Maria, Messi, and Mbappe up front. That front three. This guy here, the type, Ronaldo wasn't registered for the Champions League apparently.
Oh, for fucking hell, man! How has that happened? Is he injured? He's
no.
Fuck me. The disrespect on that is mental. You know what? Pochettino ain't got a fucking clue. Sorry.
Yeah, a Champions League winner, by the way, with experience.
Yeah,
honestly,
they didn't register him.
No, I would have took him at City. I really would have.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been a starter, but it definitely would have been a useful player to have. Fuck me.
Yeah, he's a good player.
And Patrick, with your point, I was watching the last PSG game with my son, and when we saw Xavi Simons and Di Maria on the bench, that was exactly what I told him. I was like, I think they're resting Di Maria for Tuesday's Champions League. You know,
yeah, that's a fair point. If he didn't start
because of his age, you don't want to, wear his legs out before a big game. So you bring him in.
Wait. Did they win or they got slapped up?
They won. They won the game. Yeah, it was 1-0.
Oh, it was Bayern that got slapped. Oh yeah.
It was.
What was the Bayern score in the end? Was Bayern 4-1 in the end?
4-2.
4-2. That's it. Yeah. It was a weird game. That was a weird game. But so
PSG, who are PSG playing again? Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if it's just me. I think between these two teams, I know, Carl, you've been rooting for PSG. I think Madrid are going to do this, guys. I think Madrid look more stable. I think Madrid will do this, guys.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't think so. I think if they had away goals, Madrid would do them. But because there are no away goals, and second leg in Paris.
No away goals, no more.
Yeah, no more. It's
no more away goals.
Go hard or go home.
So what if it's a draw? Then what?
Then you go to penalties,
bro.
Wow. No extra time, straight to penalties.
No, the extra time.
Extra time, then penalties. Yeah.
It's peak. It's peak, Dubs. It's peak.
Interested. Interested.
So, yeah.
Don't know how I feel about that yet. Need to process that.
I didn't like it, but now that I think about it, I kind of like it.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's basically if you can score goals, man. If you score goals, you score goals. There's no away goals.
Just score as many as you can, and that's it.
Yeah. If you score 4-3, good. Come back at home. You score 1-0, score 4.
See, here's the thing with this game. Sorry, I've got to look at this from a City's point of view. I was just thinking a minute ago. I wouldn't mind either of them. I really wouldn't mind either of them. But then I feel like PSG, we've been very good against PSG over the last couple of years. But
here's what
Messi could dump us out, and that would be annoying.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, that's the issue.
What I said in the group stage is that I'm glad we got Messi and Neymar and Mbappe now, because the likelihood of you getting them in the round of 16,
a big game where it means more. Because if you look at it, when we played them, both times it didn't mean that much. First time, the league was more important, and we kind of knew we were going to finish first or second. Second time, we kind of knew we were going to finish first or second. So it was like, doesn't mean that much. Knockout stages, all of a sudden, Messi could really turn up and break hearts.
Yeah. Oh my God. 3 red cards in the Barcelona game. Eric Garcia.
Sure. Another one for Garcia.
Thanks, man. That kid. Oh my God. That kid has red cards.
What's the score though? Interesting.
2-1 Espanyol.
It's a derby as well. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Piqué is gone. I think Garcia. Is going.
Ferran Torres, if you ever watch this, I hope you're enjoying your time there in the sun.
Anyway, so what do you think? We think Patrick, who's going first leg? What's the score going to be? It's home at Paris.
Okay, I think it's going to be 2-1 Madrid.
Away from home?
Yeah, I think they're gonna dust them. I don't know. It's just Madrid. I've been watching them in few games. Yes, they've not. Yes, they're not the Madrid of the old, but they're more stable with Ancelotti in there, and I think he's going to outsmart Pochettino. Because Pochettino, PSG have gone out of the cups. They're doing bad. Like they might be, even if I don't know what position they are, but they're not as great. The issue about them is they don't put any effort. I think for them is it's either they score first and then just drive somebody. What position are they in the table right now?
They're first. They're first. PSG are first. And then
Remember,
Oh
by
well,
some distance.
because nobody. But I just think
Yeah.
Madrid will beat them in both legs.
The odds makers are against you, man. The odds makers put PSG as the favorite for
Of
this
course,
one.
because Messi is there, probably Messi fanboys. But anyway, I think I think PSG are going to lose. That's just me.
Ty, what do you think? This first leg.
because it's in Paris, I'll go with a 2-2 draw.
Ooh.
I'm just trying to figure out who's going to score the 2 goals for Real Madrid. I know Mbappe is going to
Vinicius.
score. I won't be surprised because of his pace and his ability to kick, place a high pace shot. But somewhere, somehow, I think Real Madrid will pull out 2 goals also. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Daps, what about you? First leg.
Yeah, I want to go 2-1 PSG. The only thing I'm thinking is Poch knows he's gone.
Yeah.
It's hard to motivate a team of players when you know you're gone.
He knows he's gone. Apparently the word is they're going to sack him either which way.
Yeah, so that's a hard. It's a hard one to motivate a team and for a team to actually listen to you. Yeah,
Sorry?
Zidane's there.
Zidane is ready to come back to coaching?
Yeah.
I think so. That's what the word is.
I think that's the man. I think that's the man. Deep down, that's the man.
It is for that team and those players.
Why,
They need someone. I don't think Zidane is an amazing manager, but I do think Zidane is a manager that can manage big personalities and big egos, because he is that one player that even if you're young, you know who the fuck Zidane is and you know what he did. And you know he don't play. You know if you don't get on the right side of him, you're gone as well. Yeah. And this is the thing. PSG will bow down to him and be like, whatever you want. So I think he is the right man for PSG, because I think he is. And you know what? And also it might help them to try and get Mbappe to stay, maybe the French connection. Although I think he's gone.
I think Mbappe is gone, man.
I think so.
But yeah, I think Mbappe is. I think it's more than just playing for Zidane. I think it's about playing for Real Madrid.
He's already wearing the Madrid pajamas every night. I wouldn't doubt that.
So 2-1 PSG, I think.
Yeah, I think PSG win this 3-1. I really
3-1.
Like I would say 3-0.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think
Neymar. You really like PSG defense?
No, the thing about it is that front three is they can cause you problems at home. They can cause you problems. I don't know if Madrid have the ability to stop them.
Okay.
So the defense is more stable than PSG's. But anyway, let's move.
Yeah, let's move. Okay. So the next one is Sporting versus City, and I just want to talk about. Let me just stop sharing my screen real quick and then come back here. So I did some research on Sporting, and we'll talk about them real quick. So they play with a back three. They actually play a 3-4-2-1 like Chelsea, or a 3-4-3 system, depending on the opposition. The difference between what they play and what Chelsea play is they're not as good as Chelsea in any single way. They're not as good as Brighton in terms of playing the back three. In fact, they get confused at how to actually play a back three because they're not really wing backs. They're almost narrow.
Where did they start recently? Oh, it's a new system.
They've been playing this for at least the last season or so.
Go on.
A three middle, two holding, 2 wing backs, 2 inverted forwards, and then 1 striker.
Very defensive.
Well, they're not. They try to be defensive, but they're not very good at being defensive. And I'll explain why in a minute. I watched like 10 games of them yesterday. So for me, it's a perfect preparation for the Spurs game in the weekend because of the fact that Spurs also play a back three. It's a good way to that.
Badly.
Yeah, the key players are Nunes, Joao Paulinho, who plays like a midfield role, Sarabia, and then they have a very strong number 9 called Paulinho, who's pretty good. He always plays at number 9. He's like the Lukaku in that kind of tree diagram. Tree structure.
Is Pepe still there?
No, Pepe is at FC Porto, not Sporting.
Oh, he's at Porto. My bad. Yeah, he's at Porto.
Porto is the other team that are competing. They played this weekend. There were 4 red cards in the game or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, they're shit houses, absolute shit houses.
So they like to play in transition, right? But they're not as quick as a Premier League team. So when they played against Ajax, for example, they really struggled at home. I think they were canned 5-2 or something ridiculous at home. I mean, could have been 8, right? They try to play on transition, but they're not very good. But their strengths are their inside forward. So the 2 guys behind the striker are really, really good. There's a guy called Goncalves and what's his name? Sacha. They play inside behind the Paulino guy, and they're really good runners. So they can really, really run really quick. They're crossing the ball from the wide areas is really, really good. So their wing backs cross the ball really well for the striker to head in. He's very tall. He's very big. They're good at set pieces. They're good at corners, and they're good at free kicks because of their tall striker, who's basically a guy who can head the ball in.
I don't like the set piece part. That they're very good at set pieces.
Well, it depends on if they can get the ball, right? The question is, can they get the ball? That's the issue, right?
Yeah, but sometimes don't forget when Pep sees that there's a team good at set pieces, I've noticed we try our utmost best to avoid them from getting corners. If you've noticed, Burnley usually gets like 1 corner from us in a half. It's because we want to make sure they don't get corners, because I'm pretty sure that's what they'll go after. Anyway, keep going.
So the games that they play, what they do is that they try to win the ball very quickly in defensive areas, and they try to transition very quickly with their wing backs, kind of like Chelsea, and pull the ball in centrally for the striker to head the ball. That's what they try to do. So that's where they're really, really strong at. They have runners who play behind the striker, but they also have wing backs who cross the ball. The wing backs are a guy called Pedro Porro. I think he's either on loan from us or something.
That's our guy.
I recognize that name.
Did we sell him?
Did we sell him or is he on loan?
I think he is. That's our guy.
I recognize that name, Pedro.
Yeah, that's our guy. That must be the right back. The right back.
Yeah, there's Pedro Porro. They play Pedro Porro or Nuno Santos.
I don't know if we sold him.
So those 2 guys play the wing backs, and then they attack the balls on the channels and cross the ball in.
He's on loan
to head the ball in. He's on loan.
So is he going to play? Are the rules
allowed to play.
The rules different? The way when you're on loan, you don't play.
The rules
I think I think that's also probably if you want to put it in, and I can imagine in the Champions League, it would only be a benefit to us to allow him to play in the Champions League. To be honest, if he's on loan, right? It's going to push up his value. It's going to push up his ability to play in big games.
Yeah, he's just 22. I think I saw him. He played in one of he played in the Spanish international team, and I was saying, "Who's that guy?" And somebody said, "That's your player, man." I was like, "Yeah, Paulo."
He'll never play. He'll never play for us. He'll never play for us, but his value will definitely go up by him playing in the Champions League for Sporting.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Barcelona were looking for him at a point in time. They were looking for him.
Shock.
I think.
Shock.
So what I learned about think about Brighton with a really good number 9,
which they don't have. Yeah.
Right, but think about they're like Brighton with really good number 9.
Yeah.
And wing backs are not as strong or as physical as Brighton's wing back. That's
Brighton. But listen, Brighton with a good number 9 would be really pushing top 8.
I agree.
I thought they have good. Ivan Tony.
No, that's Brentford. Brighton.
Oh, Brighton
just
Brighton.
draw.
Oh, it's Mope.
Yeah, but Mope's just not consistent enough. Like Brighton went through a period of like 2 or 3 months just drawing every single game, and literally it was a case of look, if you had a striker that could score goals, your league position would be because. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. If Brighton had a proper number 9, then Brighton could do a lot of damage.
So we talked about their strengths. Strengths are they have a good number 9 who's tall and strong. They like to fling the balls in from the wing back areas. That's really their strength, and they're good at set pieces and corners. Their weaknesses on the flip side is also the wing backs, because unlike the Chelsea wing backs and the Brighton wing backs, these guys can't really defend. They just cannot defend. So what ends up happening is that when they played Ajax, for example, when Ajax pinned them back, they created a back 5. And they could not defend one-on-one on the wing-backs area. Think about having a back 5 with, a team that plays a 4-3-3. They couldn't defend one-on-one. You know how a Chelsea or a Brighton would defend and shut you up and force you back inside, right? They couldn't do that. So wingers always get in behind them, always get in fact, most of their goals come from the fact that the defensive wing-backs always concede goals from those areas. And then the worst part of their game, the center-backs are terrible. right? They cannot defend to save they're really not very good
Well,
defensively.
this is starting to look like
I'm starting to.
I'm starting to say, is this going to be one of those dunks where they're going to get dunked on easily?
I mean, I need to go and get my booster jab by the sounds of it, because it looks like I'm going to Europe for the next stage. So,
no, so if you watch
you want to go see it?
Well, I won't be able to go to this, but if I get my booster jab, I'll be able to go to the next round. So I'll probably have to do that.
Yeah. So the centre backs struggle with movement in the false nine areas. The back three get done on the outside. The three centre backs are really, really poor. If you watch the Ajax game, for example, the two legs. I mean, Haller just kept scoring goals. He got most of his goals through the central areas. He just kept scoring goals.
So Kundo, based on that, it'll be Cancelo on. What do you think? Cancelo on the left or Cancelo on the right?
I think it's Cancelo on the right and Zinchenko on the left.
See, the only thing is, someone said to me the other day that when Pep played John Stones on the right, he was getting John Stones ready. He was trying John Stones out on the right to see if that was an option for the Champions League. But then if you're talking about, those being positions where you can really get at them, I don't necessarily think John Stones is the right person to go to get someone down the right so much.
But, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
Yeah, my worry with Stones is pace, right? And some of the wing backs have pace, right? So he may struggle with pace, especially those crosses coming in.
Well, the other thing is, the one thing I remember, can't remember what game it was, but there was a game, sure it's this season, it might have been last season, where John Stones, whoever we were playing got a player sent off, right? And John Stones basically had, I remember people were tweeting saying John Stones is looking like a Lionel Messi. He was like playing so far forward because he was allowed to, because they were down to 10 men, right? And he was just so involved in the game because he pushing forward, balling like John Stones can. Then they hit us on the... Oh, and Diaz, here's the key. Diaz wasn't playing, right? They hit us on the counter and John Stones was way too far up the pitch. No pace to get back. We got caught and we ended up losing because of it. But I think that's the thing with John Stones. If he plays on the wing, he could get caught out of position way too much. Oh, sorry, as a
he could get caught. Isn't it? He likes speed. I think it's speed.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll do lineups in a minute, but let's take some comments right here. Charlie says, "Is Benzema ready for PSG?" No, he's not ready for PSG. And apparently, I think the issue right now is
pisses him off. Bet that pisses him off.
Yeah, the issue with Benzema is that they're saying, should they rest him because of the La Liga, because it's tight? Do they want to risk him in the Champions League and get him injured again, or do they keep him in La Liga because it's tight?
Fucking hell. Confident like that, Jesus. Yeah, isn't the Champions League the most important thing? That's what all other English teams tell us all the time.
Daniel says PSG is the most overrated team I've seen in the last years.
I think this is a hard one because that's my view as a City fan. But again, I go back to when we play them, and when we play them, they haven't been that great. So I always look at it like that. But I do think with the names they have, I mean, remember when they bought Messi, everyone was saying, this is the super team. If this team doesn't win everything, what's going wrong?
Yeah, true.
In the summer, it was...
Well, I'll tell you what, Dab, because I watched the game they played against Club Bruges, and Bruges took them all the way, man, in Belgium. So...
For me, it's a manager and there's too many egos. They haven't got... And like I said, Wijnaldum is someone that will work hard for you. They'd rather go with a luxury player. But
so check this out, Ty. Says Neymar hasn't scored in the Champions League knockout stage for PSG since February 2020.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Wow.
See, I believe it. I really do. I asked someone a question the other day. If Neymar's career ends tomorrow, has his career been
disappointment?
Yeah, it's hard. I don't want to say disappointment, but would he look back and think I could have achieved more?
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
So I've said this, and Carl has heard me say this before, right? Years and years ago, I forgot how many years ago, Carl, you can remind me. Remember, we had a conversation about Neymar and Hazard, and also about PSG, and I said, so it's probably about 6 years ago, and I said the next 5 years that PSG will not win the Champions League. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is two reasons. One, you can't play in a JV league and come to Champions League and think you can turn it on to beat. It doesn't work. It's impossible. The team when Spanish league, when the Spanish teams, when Spanish league was the best league in the world, they were winning Champions League because week in, week out, they were playing really, really good team. So it's easy for you to go into Champions League and dominate because your level is high, right? When EPL teams took over being the hardest and the best team league in the world by having the best players, the best coaches, spending the most money, EPL teams started winning Champions League. You know what I'm saying? So PSG's problem is they play in a weak league that it can easily dominate, and then you're trying to step it up for Champions League. You can only do that for maybe 3, 4, 5 games. You can't do that for 8, 9, 10, or 11, 12 games that it takes you to win Champions League. That's number one. Number two, when I was telling people that Azad is better, will be better. When they're both retired, he's going to have a higher accolade than Neymar. This is when Neymar left Barcelona to go to PSG because he wanted to be the man. He didn't want to be in the shadow of Messi. And I said, listen, Neymar,
inconvenient.
it's a great talent, right? I'll give you another player, JJ Okocha. Great.
Yeah.
What did Okocha win? Nothing.
Georgie King-Clancy.
And I'm a fan of Okocha. I'm not making fun of him as a Nigerian, so I'm a fan. There are a lot of guys out here in the world that are very, very creative, talented, and all these freestyle guys. But when you put them on a soccer field, when they have to be effective, they can't be effective.
Yeah,
that's
agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree with you.
At Chelsea.
I think the thing is as well, it's kind of, you look at it and it's like, at Barcelona he won pretty much everything he could, but then since then, all right, he's won some French leagues and that, but no one's really saying fucking hell, that's an achievement. I mean, if Zlatan was to ever talk about what he's won, I guarantee you he's not putting anything he won at PSG at the top of his list.
True.
And then unfortunate for him, because I think you can't blame your international team, but again, Brazil under the Neymar era, they've kind of been a bit disappointing as well.
Yeah, the only time they won anything, Neymar didn't play in that tournament.
Yeah, so it's
Copa America.
That Neymar played in, that he was the man, that he was the leader, / captain, / the man that's supposed to carry them. They lost.
But here's the thing: the players that PSG do have could be in the knockout stages game winners, and that could be the difference. That's
the issue. That's the issue. We have Messi, you have a chance, right? Check this out.
And Mbappe, to be fair, Mbappe gets some important goals as well.
So these guys, the Cancelo, Diaz, Bernardo, Edison, all played for Benfica, and there is a mad hatred between Benfica.
Very true. Yeah.
And Sporting.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
But will they play? We don't know.
I think they definitely will. Bernardo was benched, I think, to be rested. He was playing okay, and Cancelo was on the bench. Diaz played, but I think these guys are going to play, all of them. I think they're going to play. To be honest with you, if Bernardo doesn't play in the Champions League, sorry, Dubs, it's just that I think Bernardo has to play in the Champions League. I think that was what was missing in the final.
Yeah, 100%. I had this conversation with someone before. In the final, did he come on?
Was he on already? I think he was already on. I believe he was.
I don't think he was in. I think it was.
No, because I didn't think he was in. I don't think he was in. But then someone pulled me up and he was. But I think the key with Bernardo is two things. Firstly, if he doesn't like a team, play him. Right? He hates Liverpool. The guy puts in performances against Liverpool. And secondly, in the Champions League, you have to play. I'm sorry. Pep's having a howler if he's not playing Bernardo Silva in the Champions League at the moment. I mean, I'm sorry, he's having a howler, and he's risking. He's risking that contract not being signed if he doesn't play him in the Champions League. As a neutral,
what do you think about Bernardo Silva so far this season? How do you see him?
I think he's been playing a typical Bernardo Silva, which is brilliant, but not always brilliant.
He's had a few bad games recently.
Yeah, he's had a few. It reminds me of Sterling. Sterling is brilliant, but not always brilliant. You know what I mean? Unlike KDB, which is always brilliant. Even when he had a bad game, if KDB has a bad game, you can see the effort that, okay, he's trying to do something. Same thing with Foden. But Bernardo is a great player. He has a lot of great games, but not always brilliant. So that's what I say about him this year, and even a few years back.
Interesting. Charlie says, "Do I think they'll play a back three?" Yes, Charlie, they'll play a back three. Are we going to match them? No, I don't think we're going to match them, man.
If we do that, then we're doing the Leon thing again.
City's quality doesn't dictate that City match anybody.
Yeah.
Right? It does not. It never dictates that.
Yeah.
City's quality is we're gonna play a game. You can try to match us. You can try to keep up, but we have enough quality to get by you.
True.
Yeah.
And in a home and away game, good luck with anybody. I mean, Champions League final, I was glad Chelsea won because if it was a two-legged, forget it. It ain't happening. So let's be real. So there's no way you need to match Sporting. No way. Nah, forget it.
It's going to be interesting as we kind of look forward. And Patrick, just Gary, do the lineup. You think it's going to, if you don't mind doing the lineup and sharing.
Oh well, don't worry. I got you.
Look forward, Ty and Daft, because
yeah.
I think all 4 teams are going to qualify for the next round. All 4 English teams. I think they will. I think even
you think United will.
As bad as they are, Atleti are not very good, man. I think they're not good. It's not the Atleti that.
I think you're putting so much hope in United.
It's fine. Yeah. We do that. We've been doing that every week. We'll let them let us down.
See, the thing about it, Daps and Patrick and Ty, is that this is their last dance, right? Because if they don't qualify for the next round, I mean, they could literally finish 10th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially with the form of teams like Wolves.
And the thing about it, because they have Rashford, they have all these speedsters. Atleti don't have people who can run like that, man. They have these guys are not speedsters,
But is there going to be space to run into?
That's the issue.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't trust United, but Atleti haven't really kind of lit up the candle, right? I mean, at this point.
So Atleti's last 2 games,
they lost to Barca,
they scored 3 or more goals per game, if I'm not mistaken, and they've also considered 2 or more goals.
Yeah, correct.
So let's not look at Atleti with the old eye that we used to look at them, every team that is tough and only get 1 goal and that's it. Man U's last 2 or 3 games as considered in every game.
Yeah, it's true.
They've had a brilliant first half and a disastrous second half. So Atleti is a tough team regardless of what bad form they are.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah.
Between those 2, Atleti is going to score at least 2 games every game against Man U. The problem is, can Atleti keep Man U from scoring 2 or more goals?
I think they can. I think they play too deep. I think they really can. I think one of the things is United's. If you have an organised midfield, right, you beat United. For me, that's it.
And that's the reason why I don't think Man U will make the next. They will beat. They will beat Atleti in a 2-game head-to-head. I just don't. I don't see it.
No. Because I think there's too much nonsense going on there as well. I don't know what is happening at half-time in the dressing room to be throwing away the leads they've been throwing away. And I mean, Burnley and Middlesbrough 1-0 up at half-time. I'm sorry. There's no way you should be losing
I forgot about Middlesbrough, mate. I forgot about that. I mean, they're not going through. Okay, Patrick, let's do the lineup real quick. So what do you think? I mean, Edison in goal, I would think. Daps, I mean...
Yeah, 100%. It's not even debatable. Yeah, Edison in goal.
Okay, so Ty, we have a problem at right back because Walker is out for this game. Who do you think you should play the right back? Ty?
Please. Do you want to gamble? Where is what's his name? Stone. Where's the Stone playing? Is he playing center back?
Well, he plays center back, but he had 2 games ago. He played right back too.
That's what I'm leaning towards. So if you're gonna play, if you don't have Walker and you want to be safe, and you don't need somebody that's gonna be beaming forward to put crosses in, I would go with Stone.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I would have agreed with that, except for what you've told me about their the way they play, and that's made me swing towards Zinchenko on the left because.
So Dabs, it's something else I just thought about right now. So Brentford play in the same way that Sporting do.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, that actually low block, back 8, and so what Pep tried to do is bring Stones in to break the lines, because Walker doesn't break the lines like Stones does.
No, he doesn't.
Carries the ball as the extra man into the block. I'm thinking Ty's right there. He's actually going to play Stones at right back.
Stones. I think he played him there for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it would have been very, very. I mean, when Jan and I saw the lineup that day, we instantly presumed it was going to be a Stones Diaz in the middle and Laporte on the left, right? And then then Cancelo on the right. And the fact they switched that and played Cancelo on the left and put Stones out of position, when actually Laporte has played on the left. Stones had never played on the right before. So I think he was doing it for a reason. Must have been to try.
Yeah.
And it worked, and it did work, to be fair. He was good there. He was probably one of our men of the match.
I just thought about it now that Brentford play the same system that Sporting play. And so maybe he's trying to simulate that same kind of motion and movement with Stones breaking the lines constantly to get into the half spaces to create the extra pass.
I'll tell you what, I would love to see that become a regular with Stones. If he really can pick up that role, that would be another unique thing that Pep has done.
So let's go with Stones then. Like Tyson, Stones at right back.
But then
are you sure you don't want Cancelo and Zinchenko as fullbacks?
No, let's do Stones at right back. I think it's going to be Stones.
It's interesting. I think he did play Stones for a reason. So for that reason,
yeah.
Then
who's here? Is it Diaz?
I think it has to be Champions League, right? It has to be.
Yeah. Diaz on the floor.
You do think? I mean, we won't speak on it much, but Aki is getting better and better and more comfortable.
It's about game time, Dabs. It's about game time. The more game time a player has with a team in the first team, the better they become. I mean, Ty coaches. His son plays. He's a fantastic baller. One of the best youngsters, left-footed centre backs I've seen. And it's about game time. The more they play, the better they become. By the way, his son can ping a ball left centre back all the way. I mean, ping a ball like Laporte can. He's really good.
Okay, Laporte's good at that as well. Yeah. So, nurture him, man. Get him watching City. Don't let him watch Chelsea. Don't let him watch Chelsea. That'll take all his skill out of him.
You come with the money. I'm putting City's jersey on every podcast.
He can support you. Look, I'm not saying who he supports. Just let him watch City's if he wants to ball out.
Oh, we watch everybody. He's 15 years old, but he's a true soccer head. We watch everybody as much as we can.
Respect.
So back for Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Stones, and then holding.
Rodri.
It has to be Rodri.
Yeah, I thought you guys were getting excited for a minute there, thinking let's put Fernandinho in there.
But to be fair, Fernandinho did well in the second half.
He did.
Nah. Please move on. Cow, don't get too excited. I saw you, Dabs. Cow has got excited now. He says Fernandinho is back. No, let's not get excited. Let's calm down for him.
I see. Jamie Redknapp said he's probably the best DM that has ever played in the Premier League.
That's true. I think so.
I mean, as City fans will say that. Everyone else will disagree. He's going to say Makelele right now, or he's going to say Kante, one of the two.
Kante, Makelele. I mean, come on.
I don't know about that.
All different players.
Wait.
Yago is not a better DM. No way. Better box to box, maybe, not DM.
Okay,
no way.
Right, fine. Let's move on.
We're talking about Fernandinho when he was on fire in the Pep team. That he was unstoppable.
I think it's very, you have to look at ultimately all of those, and this is a hard thing when you compare players. Every player we've listed actually plays slightly different. So
yeah. But I think if you put a Kante in that 17-18 season, I mean we don't concede goals at all. I mean,
Okay, so who's going to be in the midfield?
So the way I like to approach this midfield problem is I like to start with the wingers first of all.
I don't think the midfield's a problem.
I think
unless Pep makes it a problem, I don't think it's a problem. I think it should pick
itself.
So
the way I look at it, that is the midfield has to be the diamond in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. That's the issue. So it's not just the midfield three; it's who plays the false nine as well, because that is actually part of the quartet.
Again, I don't think that's an issue either.
Right? There's a quartet that's supposed to be there, but it all depends on who's playing wide. Now, but that's
whether you like it or not, Carl. I know you're going to say you don't want inverted wingers, but Pep will play inverted wingers.
I think he's going to. I mean, yeah.
Here's the thing. This is away from home.
Yeah.
Away from home, I think
So Dabs and Patrick, midfield 3, who do you think, or midfield 2 now, who do you think is going to be there?
I think De Bruyne is automatic.
Should be.
100%.
Kevin?
No.
Did you say no to Kevin?
I said no. I said no. But
I thought he was okay. So Kevin was on the bench not to play the next game.
No, I didn't say on the bench. I just said no to Kevin playing there.
Oh, you want him as a false nine.
See, you're back to
I would play the exact same 4 in the diamond of Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
For me, that is the best 4 midfielders in as a unit in world football at the moment. For me, the most balanced ball retention.
So what that means?
So who's dropping?
You're not getting inverted wingers because Foden's going to.
Then Foden on the left.
Riyadh.
This is the hard thing. Because then it's like, right, on the left it's Foden or Sterling, or on the right it's Mahrez or Jesus. But then you could swap. You could. So Jesus, that makes it a little bit easier. You'd probably go with Mahrez on the right, and then I'd probably go with Raheem on the left and drop Foden. Foden hasn't been good recently, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think Foden's not ready to be the star of this side yet. I think when he plays on the left and he's still a bit, they're not watching him so much. When he plays through the middle, he looks like he's not ready to be the star of this team yet, unfortunately. But it depends. Yeah. This is the first leg. So it could be, he could treat it 2 ways. He could treat it first leg, so, let's have some fun with it or something. Or he could treat it's away from home. Let's be very controlled. And if we get a nice lead, bring it home and then maybe play Foden on the left or something.
The thing about is, I think De Bruyne has a better understanding with Foden than he does with Raheem on the left. Somehow they connect, they play well together. There's a almost telepathic.
Yeah, there's definitely that within City. That there's certain players when they play together that we just don't look as fluid. 100% there's that with a few players.
But I just have a feeling there is no Mahrez being dropped in the Champions League. I don't see it.
No, it's not happening. Mahrez is starting.
And then Raheem being dropped and how he's scoring goals. I don't see it. To be honest, the only victim in this is Foden.
Yeah, agreed. It is.
If you think about it for a minute, Carl, it's Foden who you would like. But he also said this in the interview. Foden is probably the most guy who understands the false 9 position. He said that in the press.
Oh, he's shit as I'm not feeling Foden as a false 9. I'm sorry. Not feeling it at all.
Yeah.
Really not. Maybe whether he understands it or not. I think we have to go back to, there was an interview Pep did in the summer, some point, where he was talking about Foden and saying, until now, it's been very easy for Foden to sit on the bench, right? Now that he's become a star, now it's harder. And now the form that he had been in up until the summer, now it's harder for me to tell Foden to sit on the bench. And that's where I have to manage it. But I think Pep will see this as ultimately, Foden's form hasn't been good. Sterling's form has been better. And for that reason, I think
yeah,
Mahrez is scoring, and if you have a pen, it's Mahrez. I don't know. I just feel like if this is the team that shows up, Sporting won't have the ball.
But then if you say that their fullbacks are rubbish or their wingbacks are rubbish, Foden could then get at them massively.
That's the issue, right? Because what you want to avoid is when you invert into traffic, that's your players get coming into the back 3 and the wing and the two wing backs, and they're covering CDMs, because they're gonna have a 3, a 2, and then wing backs. You can have a 5.
I think unfortunately it's going to hurt me to say this, but looking at what happened in the last game where Bernardo Silva was taken out, I know he wasn't pulling out trees, but he was playing okay. Excuse me. Bernardo was taken out. De Bruyne was on the bench, but one midfielder finished the game, Gundogan, even though he played fantastically. I think Gundogan is going to get dropped for this. Something tells me Gundogan is going to be the one being dropped for this.
You know what? The thing is, I won't be mad at that, but if Gundogan doesn't, when it gets to those real crucial games, I expect to see Gundogan in there, because for me, he's that one player that Pep can rely on.
Do you think he'll throw him after letting him play the whole game? I think because he moved Bernardo, keeping him for the next game. It means De Bruyne for the next game, and then he removes Foden. So I can see Gundogan. He says, "Go ahead, you finish the game as a senior midfield."
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
think De Bruyne is going to be next to Bernardo, and it's going to be Foden in the false nine again.
We're all counting Grealish out of this, by the way. We haven't even said his name.
He's apparently he's by injury, so
good.
No, he
That
said he's
excuse,
be back
perfect.
Tuesday. It wasn't serious.
Oh, it's not enough training. Sorry, Grealish. Hold the bench.
yeah.
Okay, so down the middle, you're going with Foden.
Yeah, Phil, take out Gundo.
Here's the thing. I actually think Grealish has more of a chance of coming on in the Champions League and having an impact than I do him starting a game. I really wouldn't rule out him coming on and doing something.
Yeah,
but I don't think starting.
Dabs, do you think that maybe in the Champions League where he seems like he's played better is because a lot of people don't know him? Why in the Prem they knew him from seasons before?
Yeah, maybe. I just at the moment I would be using Grealish as a sub a lot more often and not starting him.
I agree with that.
As an outsider, I think your midfield finally looks better now.
Yeah.
Are we going like that?
Huh?
Oh, fuck's sake! You've got Foden through the middle. Jesus.
Okay, would you put Raheem through the middle and then Foden and Raheem will be swapping?
Perhaps the thing about it, people. The reality is that there really isn't a number 9.
No, true.
So
They'll switch about. Yeah,
they'll switch about. They just all switch about, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed, and Ty, your coach as well, is that Liverpool and City don't really play a 4-3-3. They actually play a 2-3-5. If you notice, right?
Yeah.
The average positions that they play is a 2-3-5.
Yeah.
So they always have
sometimes it's actually like a 1-4-5.
You know, it's a 2-3-5.
Just have Diaz at the back and let one of the midfield. If it's Stones will slip into the middle as well.
So apparently, I did some research about this. Apparently, back in the old days, in the 70s and 60s, right, when the Hungary was dominating Europe, they used to play a 2-3-5. That was a formation they used to play.
Do you know what the thing is? I actually think when you're talking formations, it's like I know they have to. When you're talking formations, you can't say, well, at this point it's this, but ultimately, the formation changes as the team transitions, and often with City, what it ends up. Once we pin a team in, it really does become like a 1-5-3 or 1-5, 1-6.
Well, and this is the thing about the modern game,
because it'll be Diaz will sit there, right, and the wing backs are in, Stones is in, everyone, and they just literally get it to. And this is how we win the ball back so quickly. That it's like the minute the team tries to counter, nope. Back to how we want to play.
So the thing about the modern game is, and this happens with Chelsea as well, right? It's not about systems, it's about the extra man, right? How do we get the extra man? That's why you see Rudiger sometimes will get the ball and drive in, right? Because he becomes the extra man that nobody's marking.
Yeah.
You see Stones playing as a right back, getting the ball and driving because he becomes the extra. Cancelo becomes the extra man. How do we create the opportunity for the extra man to get the ball and nobody's marking? Which is what the modern game, the three teams, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool all kind of play. Look for the overloads to create the extra man even behind.
You spoke about Walker doing it as well.
Yeah, Walker did it against Liverpool at Anfield. So looks like we have our team, guys. You want to confirm that, Patrick? The front three, middle three?
Oh, that's Raheem, Foden, and the GOAT Mahrez. And then in the midfield, the best midfielder, De Bruyne, and then Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and then Cancelo. To be honest with you,
midfield's so hard working, by the way. On the radio earlier, they were talking about this, and they didn't. I wish they would have said his noise. There was name. Sorry, they were talking about Man United, and they were basically saying how, like, United have got all these players that just none of them want to get involved. Really, they just want to play football moving forward, not getting back. And that is the thing. When you look at that, De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, not enough is said about how much they get back and defend, and they get back and win the ball back.
How De Bruyne helped John Stones in the Brentford game,
De Bruyne does it all the time. I wish people would, when people make the comparison between him and any other player, it's always about goals and assists and whatever else. It's like, forget the fact that he's beaten them with that. Have you seen what De Bruyne does getting back? The guy.
But Dabs, the thing about the three teams on top of the league, right? If you watch, what is the plan line between all three teams? It's off the ball work. Right? It's how they recover. They play different systems, but it's how they chase the ball down when they're off the ball.
Yeah.
Which is why they're miles apart from, unfortunately or fortunately, United, Spurs, Arsenal are getting there now. They're changing their philosophy about work off the ball. But those three teams,
West Ham is also getting there. Remember, Declan Rice was saying that Moyes told them that
Wolves,
don't run very much. Yeah,
Wolves,
Wolves are
Tottenham
running
now.
too.
Tottenham, Conte's trying to get them doing it, but
Right. The
yeah,
off the
you're
ball
bang on.
attitude is what's driving those three teams
Yeah,
dominate not just the Premier League but also Europe and world football. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
The good thing about Champions League, guys, is that the fact that we have 5 subs who can come in.
Yeah, that's true.
Patrick, what subs would you like to see coming for who? Let's assume that we're 2 or 3 goals up. Who would you like to see? We'd like to add these to the sheet.
I want to see. Right, so straight away, if Foden is on, Sterling is on. Right, who's that saying? Right, Jesus is injured.
Yep.
yeah.
Grealish was saying Grealish if he's fit. I want to see him on the bench. Do you know what? I want to see Delap. I want to see McAtee. I want to see Aki 100%. Zinchenko. And if I've got Cole Palmer still not fit.
Not fit.
Yeah. So who else? Who else have we got?
So
what else have we got?
So let's sub
Fernandinho is his captain.
Let's do Delap. Let's do McAtee.
McAtee, who is he getting in for if we're winning? Bernardo? Yeah. I think De Bruyne would be the one being rested because you need to look after him. If we're winning, let's say if we're winning 3-0.
But he rested. He already rested, man, for the whole. I guess we have Tottenham on Saturday, right?
Yeah, so, but like De Bruyne, they say that knee thing, if it happens again.
Oh, the ankle thing?
Yeah.
I think when we take leads, when we start taking maybe 2-goal leads, we're going to start seeing De Bruyne being pulled off. I think we don't want to risk De Bruyne. As his form is getting better, we don't want it to go back to last season and the season before. So I can see maybe when we're incomplete, especially first legs as well.
I think Gundogan will come for De Bruyne then to control.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I think Gundogan would be the best option.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, Gundogan would come for De Bruyne's control.
If you're not going to start Gundogan, you might as well get him the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. So you got 3 more that can come in. I think one of the defenders is going to go out. Maybe Diaz, maybe Stones. Okay, Stones is already there, man.
No,
so Stones is struggling. Maybe Cancelo goes that side, and then Zinchenko comes in.
Or Ake will be on the bench, 100%. They're not going to. I don't think with the form he's in, I don't think Pep would do that to his confidence to just leave him out of the team.
Ty, what do you think about Ake so far? I mean, he seems to be improving. I mean, game by game. Yeah.
I mean, it's getting better. You just need time on the ball. You need time on the field. I mean, you just need time on the field. He's a good player. Mm-hmm. It's just that you guys have better players for that position.
Yeah.
So Ty, let's say, assume you're an owner of a club, or you're the. I mean, and that's to you too. I mean, the reality is that he's number 4. Ake's number 4 in the line of defenders, right? Yeah. Is he the perfect defender? Meaning that he's not going to make the first team every single time.
Yeah.
But he's a good enough backup to come in and play those FA Cup games, those games against Norwich, and play someone next to him that, and for the cost, is kind of that line that he's good enough to hold and play well, but he may not be good enough to play like a final.
Do you know what? Right, I was saying this the other day. The one thing with City, and with the fact that we go so far in so many competitions, is that even if you look at I don't know, let me give an example. Let's say Foden, maybe 2 years ago, right? People would say he was a bit part player, and people would be saying, "Oh, he needs to start more." All right, cool. So he was a bit part player. I bet you if you go and look, he still probably played 20 to 25 games. That this is a thing that if you're part of City's squad, Pep only has Pep likes a small squad, right? You can be a bit part player and still play a lot of games, right? And
for example,
and then maybe when you first joined the club, you could maybe at the start of the season feel a bit disheartened that you're not playing every game. The more you get into the season, the more you get further in different competitions, the more game time you get, the more of a sudden you start feeling, do you know what? I'm part of a squad. I'm part of a team. And as this team, we win stuff. So then your form, because your confidence is getting better, your form starts getting better because you're confident. And I think that's really important with us, that you can be a bit part player and still play a solid amount of games. And I think maybe that's it with Ake. He's realising he's important. Even as a bit part player, he's very important to the squad.
Yeah. So,
and we're seeing it on the pitch. 100% we're seeing it on the pitch.
Ty Adejo says, Club World Champs.
Yeah, I see his message. I got you, man. Don't worry. I'm making Your money is ready. I just have to get the Man U fans to pay me. Don't worry. I'm in the black. I got like money. Same bet against three Man U fans. I'm good. I'm good, bro. You got it.
And if you want to join, I'm going to send you a link. You can join. You can also join us.
But y'all that don't know, so at the beginning of the season, we do this. We have our own little fan zone club or whatever, and we have a bet on if your team finishes above my team. So when I said Chelsea was gonna finish above City, which is not gonna happen.
Chelsea fans, man.
I know. But I got a couple Man U fans because they got Ronaldo that wanted to enter it. So we had the same bet with them. So I'm in the black. I'm happy to pay City fans. City fans.
I did that with a few bets last season, to be fair.
If you ever want to have a discussion with a serious fan of football, but also a rival fan, this guy is a good guy. Ty, I'm just saying. And I do shows with him as well. You know, he's a good guy. He'll follow you to a game. He's that good. He's a really level-headed. He's not one of the lunatics, right, that talk a lot of crap out there. He really is. He knows his stuff, and he loves the game. And this guy drives hundreds of miles a week just to go watch football around the whole place.
I see that in a lot of Americans. I do quite a lot of pods with Americans and Canadians, to be fair, as well. And the one thing I find, in fact, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to go further. Most people from other countries, in fact, when they buy into football, they really buy into football. And they really know their shit, right? They don't just... I'm finding it a lot. And I also find there's a guy called Liez who's a United fan. And he really puts some people in their place because they hear his voice and think he's just, you know, oh, what do you know about football? And he'll school them on football, absolutely school them. Because I do find it's with Americans massively, they really buy into it and watch everyone. And it is important to watch other teams. Unfortunately, as a City fan, I don't watch too much of other teams unless they're playing us.
The thing about it, Daps, is over here, and we get, I mean, I've been up since, 7 in the morning, right? I've watched Ajax, Inter Milan, Juventus, Atlanta, all the Premier League games. I've watched Barcelona. I mean, we literally get every single game. I've watched Club Bruges. That
would cost us too much damn money over here. Jesus.
And it costs like, I think for us, for ESPN, it's like $5 a month or something.
Wow.
It's so anyway. I sent you the link, so join. All right. So I think let's do score lines. Daps, score Tuesday, City versus Sporting.
You know what? I'm going to go 3-1.
Okay. 3-1
I think 3-1 away. I think we're going to end up going through with a really nice margin in this one.
That's a good margin to come back home with, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need that though. We've got a heavy run at the moment.
And here comes Ade. Ade.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So Ade is a City fan here in the US as well.
God bless you.
One that Ty was talking about and was talking to Ty about the club,
Sorry, I'm having issues with my video, so bear with me.
It's good, man. We can hear you.
While you sort that out, I'll make my prediction. I don't see the one goal coming from Sporting. Maybe I'm ignorant, so I don't know too much about them. But I think 3-0, 3 or 4-0 clean sheet is my goal.
4. Ade, what do you think about Sporting generally? I know we've missed you.
I think it's gonna be one of our more difficult games. Because Sporting is kind of like Porto, and those guys play physical, they fall all over the place, and they do these tactics that just kind of disrupt your rhythm. So I think they're going to play more like that. If we get an early goal, I see us maybe winning like 3-1, but I think they get a goal, depending on our back line. If we're pressuring a lot, I haven't really watched a lot of that game, so I don't know how good their forwards are. If the forwards are the kind of guys that get forward quickly, then we might have an issue with Cancelo, and Walker isn't playing, so that's a bit of a liability there. So I see them getting maybe a goal, but maybe 3-1 will be a.
So we talked about it earlier on before you came on, and my understanding, my analysis of Sporting is that their forwards, the 3 forwards, they play like Chelsea, have a back 3 wing backs with 2 inverted and 1 striker. They're not as quick. They're like Brighton, but just a little better, but not as controlled. So their wing backs are not very good compared to Brighton, but they try and play a 3-4-2-1 system. They're not nowhere near Chelsea's level. They don't have that control and that ability to stifle you. They give you chances. Ajax battered them 4-1 or 5-1 or something ridiculous during the group stage. But they also beat Dortmund with crosses, right, and headers.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But
yeah, but they're really good. And if we're playing Zinchenko and Cancelo as our left back and right back, we're gonna have a bit of an issue because even in the last game we won comfortably. But if you watch the game and you break it down in detail, there was a lot of issue. Well, first of all, Stones isn't really, he really isn't a right back, so he kind of had his work cut out for him. So we had a little bit of issue there, and I think because they haven't played together a lot, I think it's going to be a bit of an issue.
Do you know what? Another thing that's worth saying real quick, is if we play Stones at right back, Mahrez is probably one of the few players in our team that maybe doesn't get back as much. So it would be very reliant on maybe Bernardo Silva to put in and cover Stones.
That is very correct.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, Ade, and Kao and Dabs and Ty, you keep. I know you're talking about the Sporting and Ajax. Ajax beats Sporting with 9 goals, 9-3 if you count both sides. So it was 9 goals, 4-2 first leg, 5-1 second leg.
Yeah, I studied that game, right? And the weakness that they had against Ajax is Ajax was playing a false 9 system, so there were lots of rotation in the forward line. They literally ripped their fullbacks apart and the center backs apart. It was like knife through butter. It could have been 10. It was really difficult for them.
A lesson in football.
I think that's the thing as well with you, Gundo, in particular. What you do by going away and that's exactly what Pep's video men do. They go away and study. So it is interesting to see, because like I said, he played Stones on the right for a reason. What that is, we don't quite know yet, and maybe that's why we're putting him there. But who knows? Who knows? First leg, put Delap through the middle.
Yeah, I think we might see Delap in this game if we're comfortably ahead, maybe by
really
2 goals in the first half. I think we see Delap in the second half because we really need him.
Yeah, I think before the season is out, right? Before the season is out, we will see either Delap. I think we'll see Cole Palmer with the injury that might hinder him slightly, but I think Delap or McAtee and probably Cole Palmer, we're going to see one of them or two of them pop up in games that we're like, oh, fucking hell, where all out of nowhere, he puts some super confidence in them. And I've spoke about it before, like they did with Foden several years ago against Tottenham.
I remember when he scored the header, Aguero assist.
Yeah. He'll just see something on the training. Pep will just see something on the training pitch, or one of his video guys will see it and be like, do you know what? That's what we need. We need.
I think it's going to be Delap. I think you're right. I think it's going to be Delap. I think Delap. I mean, the fact that they gave him the new contract, the injuries have really held him back. It's not like he didn't want to play. So now that
he's healthy, he was ahead of Cole Palmer, and
he was ahead of all of them. I mean, they put him in a big game in the Champions League where he had the goal. So I think there's a lot of faith in him. But those injuries really set him back. But I think he's going to come through this year, and hopefully maybe we get Haaland, and that will be like the competition between him and Haaland about who's starting. I'm just saying.
Joking aside, the way Haaland plays,
same way.
Delap would be a good plan B. That the rest of the team wouldn't have to change the way they play if Haaland got injured and Delap had to come in.
Exactly.
It sounds crazy that we compare Delap to Haaland.
No, it's a good comparison. They both have the same attributes. They run really fast. They're fast. Their pace is incredible. They're strong. They're good in the air. I mean, Haaland is by far better than him, but I think that it's a good comparison. But anyways, that's for the future.
So what's your score prediction for the away like Ade?
Oh, my 3-1 away. Back at the Etihad, I think.
No, the first game's we're just in a away leg right now.
Oh, away. I see 3-1. I see us beating them 3-1.
Okay, I think I'll go with that. I'll go with 3-0 actually. I'm going to go with tie.
All right.
Because I think Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Ederson, they literally loathe Sporting. I mean, it's like having like company playing against United, right? They grew up in Benfica. There's a mad rivalry between. I mean, and those 4 guys all play for Benfica. They're all Benfica boys growing up.
And they go back to watch Benfica play, and that they are proper Benfica boys.
So it'll be interesting, but we'll see. Okay.
Just get Felix to the mix and we're there.
So there are 2 games left on Wednesday, real quick. And so Patrick can share that on Twitter if you want to share it on Twitter. The tag
I'll share it. I'll share it later on. Yeah,
tap whoever. The 2 games on Wednesday, Inter Milan versus Liverpool. What do you guys think about that game? Generally, we just talk about that real quick. How do you see that going? Start
Inter
with
Milan
Patrick,
and
Ade,
Liverpool.
and Daps.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Patrick, you're first.
Me. Look, to be honest with you, I said it to Carl today. The thing about Liverpool is they have Jota and Salah. It's no longer. It's the team is not good anymore, but they have Jota and Salah, and more worse is Jota. He just pops up in the right place. There he is. Salah, obviously, he can be marked out because he's always trying to score from far, trying to dribble people. But Jota just shows up in the box on the corner, deflection, anything. It's just Jota. So I think that's how they'll beat Inter. But Inter is a different animal. People are telling me that they're actually an okay team. They can finish. That's the difference between Inter and other teams that are playing Liverpool. Because if you've watched Liverpool recently, teams are actually getting at them. Even Leicester City was getting at that defense. So I don't know.
Even Burnley today. I mean, Burnley
today. The way the radio said about it today is, and without even mentioning the fact it was Liverpool, on TalkSport they said Burnley will never get as many chances as they did today. That could be because Liverpool felt they could just play that way. But I think what you said is the one bit that worries me about City compared to Liverpool is that they do have Jota and Salah, and they are 2 players that have an eye for the goal, and they play up top. We've got players that have eye for a goal, but they're
not consistent.
Well, ours definitely aren't. And whereas Jota and Salah, they're pretty damn consistent. But I think Liverpool go through his Champions League.
Because Inter is not a good form. I watched Inter against AC Milan, and they lost that game 2-1. Then they tied.
They scored first, isn't it?
Yeah, they scored first and ended up losing that game. And then they tied 1-1 with Milan. With Napoli. And the only team they beat recently is Roma, and Roma is crap. They ended up beating Roma 2-0. So
who's the manager of Roma?
Mourinho Ball.
So what?
Who's the manager of Roma?
Mourinho. So I mean, Inter is not in a good form in the last 3 games, and Liverpool has been figured out to win. Even though they didn't look good today, I watched the Liverpool's game today too. They didn't look great. Let me put it that way. But
we didn't look great against Brentford, though.
Yeah, but it's an easy win for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately,
and Ade and Dab. So the other game is Bayern versus Salzburg. I guess. I mean.
We don't even have to waste time on this, isn't it?
I'm glad
we're buying. Don't waste time on that.
I know Bayern got slapped, but let's not get excited. That's how they will do that in the Champions League. So
is Neuer back?
Was Neuer not playing? Was Neuer not playing?
No, he's not playing.
Okay.
Wait, is that the reason why they got slapped this weekend?
Well, that's one of the reasons why. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Nah,
I think Bayern have been a bit
honest.
They actually dominated the game. They just got beat on the counter. I won't say but
look, Bayern have had 1 or 2 games this season where they've all of a sudden looked a bit.
I mean, they got Mönchengladbach too.
They got pumped.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's the new coach, man. I don't.
I've heard a few people say that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his style, and it's not consistent.
What's the style, Ty? Could you explain to us what his style is, so what you've seen?
So we used to buy many that goes all out on the attack, and you see players, everybody playing like midfielders. You see center backs moving around and playing live. But yeah, exactly. But he's trying to keep the shape, right? And since this guy Davies, Alphonso Davies is out, when we get attacked, and
your defender left you, didn't he? Did he leave or he just signed for Dortmund?
Alaba. Not
Alaba. What's his name? That the big guy, the slow big guy. Sule or whatever,
Yeah, Sule.
Okay.
So since you don't have that speed of Davies to kind of come back and recover and also being forward to put pressure on players. So
another one
what you're trying to do is you're trying to attack everybody by keeping your shape. So when you try to keep your shape and you're not allowing players to have the freedom to move around. When you get hit on a counter, there's nobody there.
Well, that's an interesting one where you look at. I was just thinking, obviously, a player that I love. I would love one day to come back to us is Leroy Sané,
Absolutely.
and the one issue why he wasn't, crazily enough, wasn't a regular for us, which sounds crazy, but still played a good number of games. But he was never the first name on the team sheet. Is he wasn't good at getting back?
Yeah.
He wasn't good at getting back at all.
But when Alphonso Davies was there and the other guy, I forgot his name, you had those guys that have the pace to come back and help out. And they can pop out all over the place.
Oh, Kimmich. Is it Kimmich?
Yes, Kimmich. Thank you. So can pop out all over the place. But when you don't have one of those two, every game they've lost this year, they've dominated the game, held possession, had more shots, but on a counter attack, they get scored on.
Sounds like Man City to a T.
And Ade, do you think that's going to affect them in the later stages when they played a Chelsea, a City,
Oh, absolutely.
Pace PSG.
I'm telling you, yes, absolutely.
It's a fascinating Champions League because if all the big boys get through.
Listen, the worst thing is with what he just said, right, is if Man United go through, right, against Atletico, and then they draw Bayern, right, and the way that Barcelona play, the way that Bayern sound like they play football would actually suit Man United a little bit. Counter, right?
Yeah.
Imagine fucking Man United beat Bayern Munich.
Oofball.
Imagine that. Oh, fuck off.
That would be painful, isn't it? That would be painful losing to United.
It'd be painful for me to listen to him as well. Talk about beating Bayern.
But guys, there's one more game on Thursday. We know we don't like talking about it much, but I'll share my screen. It's interesting because now UEFA have actually changed the whole format for the Europa League. And this is going to be really interesting. So before it was round of 32, and then you qualify for round of 16, or lots of teams. Now they're saying that before you get to round of 16, there's going to be a knockout playoff phase. And this is what we're getting on Thursday.
So more football.
Right? Dortmund Rangers, Sheriff Braga, okay, Atalanta Olympiacos, Salzburg Sociedad, Sevilla Dinamo. These are some good games, guys. These are some really good games.
Yeah. There are some all right teams in these.
They're good games on paper, but some of the teams have been playing crap.
like Barcelona, Napoli.
I mean, Barcelona and Napoli is going to be interesting. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting.
I agree.
I feel like Barcelona have to try and win this tournament. They really do. It sounds crazy, but it's like, however much they might see this as a Mickey Mouse tournament, once you get to these stages, it's like, fine, you can't be in a Mickey Mouse tournament and not win the Mickey Mouse tournament.
This is that level, though, isn't it? This is that level.
At the moment, it is, to be honest with you. Yeah.
What about Dortmund Rangers? I mean, Haaland may be back.
Dortmund are going to dip down.
The league
have got some.
Rangers were bad against Celtic. Did you see the game against Celtic?
Yeah, really bad. They looked a bit. Yeah, it was a bit worrying that game, wasn't it? They looked really
got slapped.
Yeah.
So Sheriff is the team that actually beat Real Madrid. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Have you seen the badge for Sheriff? Have you seen the badge?
I've seen it.
That was peak.
Yeah. The Atalanta Olympiacos. Olympiacos are they're tough. They're a tough team. They play.
They're a tough team to beat. Yeah.
Physical, hard. Porto. We know Porto. Are they Porto and Lazio? Salzburg. I mean, RB Leipzig. That's another team, and when they're in good form, they play really well. It's going to be interesting for us to watch.
The only thing about RB Leipzig is the football they play, that end-to-end football. It either works out on that day if they start scoring first and they keep scoring, but if they just because they open up a lot. I know they beat us in that other game, but it's because they scored first, and that's what happens to them. If they score first, more. But if the other team scores first, Leipzig try to open and continue playing their open football. They're like the Leeds United. They're the same. They just continue attacking and they don't have a sense of defending. So I don't know about Leipzig. I don't think Leipzig will survive this Euros.
Yeah, I think. There are other teams that are here too. We have teams like West Ham who are also in this competition. So whoever wins them, these guys will join the next 8 and they'll do a draw and pair them up against each other, which should be interesting for Thursday. But that's enough about that. Well, before we go, here we go. before we go, everybody here? There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Right. Before we go, any other thoughts, Daps? Anything going on that you want to mention or talk about, and share your socials as well?
Twitter at Daps. No, at MCFC Daps, and then YouTube Never a Foul or Feed the Goat podcast. Anything else going on?
Yeah, your UCL preview. Your Champions League preview.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a UCL preview tomorrow night, and we've got a guy called Euro Tunnel on who, Euro Expert _ he's English, but he really studies the European game. He kind of hollered me and said he wants to come on to talk about sporting. So I hope you guys are going to join me as well on that. The only other thing at the moment, the thing that stood out this weekend, apart from Man United failing again, was just Tottenham.
Yeah,
I don't get it, man. They're bottling it big time, man. Really.
So I mean, as a final topic, I mean, Ty knows Conte, and I respect Conte a lot. I think what he did at Chelsea when he came was magnificent. They played really good football. What's going on at Tottenham, Ty? I mean, Southampton, 3-2. Today Wolves, boom. Before that,
he doesn't have the players that can play his style.
I think that's the key.
He's got the two strikers, which is Son and Kane, but he doesn't have the wing back. Remember when it was at Chelsea, he brought Victor Moses back to life by playing him from an attacking player to a wing back player, and same thing when he went to Italy. He got a couple guys playing top. So he doesn't have that wing back, and we know for the last 10 years, Tottenham has struggled defensively.
Yeah.
They've gone to a lot of players in that back four, back three, whatever you play. So he doesn't have the player yet. The question is, will he be patient enough to go through the summer and get the players? Can they finish in the top 6 in order for Ed Levy to be able to give him the money to get a couple players? And
see, here's the
how many top wing backs that are there that are available, for him to get? Like, will he get maybe Zappa Costa from wherever we loan him to, Atlanta. Atlanta, whatever. I can't even remember. Emerson Palmieri. Those are the kind of guys that he could probably get over the summer that Chelsea will let go and they can fit his style. He doesn't have the players.
See, the thing is, I agree with you 100%. The bit that confused me is, like, we all know what Daniel Levy is like, right? And so he knows what Daniel Levy is like. So when he signed the contract in, what was it? No, was it December, November? Whenever he signed the contract, I presume some conversations were had about, look, or maybe he thought they were only 1 or 2 players away. And it was only when he actually got into the coaching them, he's realized this is actually bigger than I thought. But the fact that it's interesting. I feel like, you know what, he might be there for longer and he might have been given reassurances, but it's very, very interesting, very, very interesting whether he stays or not.
He made a comment recently. I'll come to you next. After like a month ago, he said the level is very, very low.
Yeah,
something like that.
Said the same again today. Said the same again today, pretty much. He said, when you look at the games we played recently, the job is bigger than I thought. Because
I mean, sometimes when I look at it on the sideline, I've seen him at Juve, I've seen him at Chelsea, I've seen him at Inter Milan, last season, right, or the season before. Today he's like, what the hell did I get myself in? That kind of look when he looks and he kind of does his neck. And Adi, what do you think is going on with
I think the problem is twofold with Spurs. So it really didn't matter who the manager was at this point. It's the midfield. The midfield is not creative. Winks and I don't know who the other guy is in the middle, the number 30. Like they don't give you anything special. If you don't have a midfield that can give you anything, then you need fullbacks that can do the attacking work as well as the defensive work. You have Doherty and what is the other guy? Sessignon, or what is his name?
Doherty and
so you have those two guys on the wing backs, and they're more defensive minded. They're not as quick. They really needed a Adama Traore. If they had gotten a Adama Traore for one of those wings, that provides a different dimension to the offense. But then there's still the case of the defense. People always think Man City play attacking great football. Man City is the best defensive team in the league because we own the ball all the time. So if you don't have a defensive back, like the back three, Sanchez, Romero, and all those guys, They're not really good. So you have a back line that's not good. You have a midfield that can assist your best players, who are Son and what's his name, Kane. You're not going to win a lot of games. So it doesn't matter what you do with the manager. If you don't change, if you don't get a couple of players to fit this system, they're not going to win them.
The reality, Patrick, is that the three centre backs that they have won't enter Chelsea, City, or Liverpool's team.
Nope,
they wouldn't.
No,
They just wouldn't. So he needs to get his players. Final thought, Ade, before the Champions League game. Anything you want to say, real quick, and then we'll go to Ty and then Patrick and then myself wrap up.
No, I'm looking forward to the Champions League. I'm just glad this isn't a game where we would have really needed Walker. I don't think Sporting provides that much of a challenge for us. So it's good that he'll be back after this, but he can't afford to make those. We need players that need to be sharp. And I think Pep was really pissed off at him, because if you notice, after that Champions League game, Pep didn't play him in a lot of our games. He was really, really annoyed, because it's like you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. You gotta be a really smart player. So Pep kind of punished him, like, you're gonna sit on the bench. Yeah, I should play you for this game because you can't play in Champions League, but I'm gonna sit you on the bench because what you did was really stupid. So we just need to be sharp, and I think this is gonna be, a good series for us to kind of retool and get ready for the next phase of the competition.
Dabs, did they appeal the 3-match ban? They did, right, Dabs?
Yeah, they've appealed it, I believe. Appealed it.
So hopefully, is there precedent before? I know Wan-Bissaka got a 3-match ban and then they appealed it and they got it down to 2, or is it 1? Do you remember?
I did hear they got it down to 2, which is fine. I think against Sporting, we can take that. It's
okay,
more than that. But you are right on and what happened is, because kind of everyone's forgot about the fact that he did get dropped, because then I think something happened with his best friend and he kind of needed some time off. But before that, he was dropped for a couple of games. And as one of our senior, he's seen as one of our senior players. So I think that in particular, Pep would see it as, you can't be one of our senior players, important players, and go and make those stupid mistakes. But I think the ban was harsh. It should be, for me, it should have been 1 game. We'll take 2 games.
It should have been 1.
Yeah. I think the message too was, and come to you, Patrick, next, is because it's a Champions League and the margins are so fine, you cannot lose your head.
Yeah.
Right. Think about PSG, second leg at the Etihad last year, right? Red card to, was it Di Maria or somebody?
Yeah, Di Maria and Fernandinho,
Lost, right? You can't, Idrissa Gueye, red card, lost his head. You cannot lose your head.
On Jesus.
Yeah.
And I remember in that game as well, Zinchenko nearly lost his head, and Fernandinho was straight over to him, telling him, calm down, or you're missing the final. Calm down. And so to have one of your senior players like Walker losing their head when you've qualified is just, what you're doing.
Yeah.
The margins in the Champions League are so fine. It's literally inches. So Patrick, you can wrap up.
Yeah, look, for me, we've discussed all the games in Madrid, PSG. Obviously, for me, Madrid this year, I think, are going to go further than before. They're a better team. Liverpool, obviously, Jordan Salah, I'm scared of them a bit. But for us as City, as I told you, Carl, I think, as you always tell me, everything is up to us. I'm going to stop this season, especially. I'm going to stop blaming Pep a lot. My brother told me something. He said, Patrick, but also your players need to step up. Even if Pep puts a funny lineup, your players still have to step up. He says your team still has players. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's a system. I get it. But your players, sometimes they put their heads down when it matters in the Champions League. And that's what we see from outside. Because I think from inside, you're under pressure, you're sweating. You're like, please win. But other guys say, look, your players are putting their heads down. So this season, I'm not just going to put the blame on Pep. I also say, look, the players going to have to step up. And we're going to have to start beating teams like this. You usually tell me, Carl, that if you don't beat a certain team like Lyon, like you don't beat these teams like Spurs in the Champions League, you don't deserve to win it. So if we don't beat Sporting, then we don't deserve to be in the final. That's all I can say. Yeah. But I hope in this game, as we already broke the curse of losing to small teams, I hope they take it seriously. And what Walker did, I think I'm not happy with it. He said himself in the interview that for somebody who's 31 years old, what I did was embarrassing. He said it himself. I shouldn't be doing that. So look, go City. That's all from me.
And with that, guys, we will wrap it up today. We hope that we'll come back next week with good news for City. And we'll bring Ty on to preview Chelsea. we preview United. Maybe we can get United fan on, Patrick or Daps. So, I don't know, Daps. We can bring a United fan on.
No, I have a few United fans working on
we can review this week's game and then preview the next game next week. Till next time, everyone. Take care, enjoy, and up the Blues.
Cheers from me, guys.